In this video, we are going to build an online file converter. You can choose to upload a file or just drag and drop your files into the box. After you uploaded your files, you can choose the format that you want to convert to. Click convert now and that's it. You can get your converted files by clicking on download and the files will automatically get installed on your computer. Another cool thing about the project is that you can upload and convert multiple files with different formats at the same time. Let's for example upload a video and some images. For each file type, you will only see the formats that you can convert to for that type. The conversion process is asynchronous, so each time a file has finished converting, you can directly download it and don't wait for other files to finish. We will also create an about page and a privacy policy page to make our app legit. For the design and the UI, it's completely responsive and beautiful. We are going to use TailwindCSS with Shadcn as a component library. Just to clarify, this project is not like the file converters that you find online. Basically what those apps do is they upload your file to a server, convert the file, then send back the converted file to your browser. So each time they need somewhere to store your files in S3 buckets or something similar, or in other words, it costs them money. That's why most of those services are not 100% free and they give you a limited amount of files that you can convert for free. And that's got me to think, why would they send files to a server and not just do conversions on client side? So I searched the web for that, and what I find is that JavaScript is very slow when it comes to stuff like that. So I keep searching for an alternative solution that doesn't require us to send a file to a back-end server until I get across the WebAssembly. WebAssembly is a technology that makes web browsers run binary files for fast applications. It's like the C language. You write your C code, compile it to get executable file, which is a binary code that only the machine can understand, and you run it. Well, same thing is for the WebAssembly. You write your code in a low-level language, something like C, then you compile your code to a .wasm file which contains the binary data. This wasm file can be imported anywhere in your JavaScript file and use it. Of course, we will not write the conversion function in C language from scratch. Instead, we will use the WebAssembly version of the FFmpeg command, which is written in the C language. Just Google FFmpeg.wasm and you'll find this documentation with a lot of examples on how to run FFmpeg commands in your JavaScript code using WebAssembly. So just to summarize what we said, we are going to make a free unlimited file converter that runs on client side. We will first make the UI in Nextjs 13 app router and using TailwindCSS and Shadcn for the copy and paste components. Then we will integrate the FFmpeg.wasm package in our application to handle image conversions, videos, and audio conversions. You will find the link of this project in GitHub, so feel free to clone the code and use it. Also, the final project is deployed on Vercel. I will also put a link to the website. Okay guys, so let's move now to the fun part. So I started by creating a new project in Nextjs 13. I used the app directory, as you can see, with TypeScript. Basically I started with the layout. So I started with metadata, some title, description, and some keywords. After that I created a component called navbar, which I will explain in a second. After that I wrapped the children with this div elements that I give it some stylings and some spacing. And also I added this component from Shadcn, which is just a toaster that you can use all in your project. And finally I added just some Google stuff like the Google Analytics and some metadata that you can use to verify your website. That's it for the layout. Now let's move to the navbar component. So first thing that I did is I imported, as you can see, some icons, which basically I used this library React Icons, which is the best library that you can use to get free icons. For example, you can just type list and you'll find a bunch of those and just use the one that you want. After that, I just imported some components from the Shadcn, and that's it. I started by creating a navbar, a simple nav div with some stylings like background and some spacings. After that, I created a link from next/link, and this link will contain the logo, so it's just an image which I put in the public/images. Basically, it's just a logo in a SVG file. I created after that another link with a button from Shadcn. So this button component is from Shadcn. By the way, when you are using Shadcn and install a component, they will create a folder in your components directory called UI, which will contain all those stuff that you need. For example, the button. So as you can see, it's automatically installed in my project, and I can just use it right away. So that's awesome. So after I created this little GitHub repo button, I started to create the nav elements like the home page, the about page, and the privacy page, and each page is wrapped with a link, and inside this link it's a button with a variant goes to. So here is the results of the navbar. It looks simple, and in the same time it looks professional and clean design. Okay, now once we have created our navbar, we should make it responsive. So in the smaller devices it will look nice. As you can see now, if I switch to a mobile version, it will just make the other components hidden. In the Shadcn library there is a solution for that, which is called the sheet. Let me show you how it works. So basically there is a button that when you click it, it will display this element here in the side of your screen. So what we can do is just use this sheet here. So here is the code. We'll just copy this code, and instead of using a button, we'll just go to React Icons library and search for a list or menu icon. You can just choose any one of those and replace it with the button and make your navbar responsive. So that's what I did. So basically, as I said, I just copied the sheet component from Shadcn and replaced the button with an icon that I imported from React Icons. After that, in the sheet description, I put my links, so I created another links and put them in here. Okay, now let's move to the page. I just create a div and give it a space y6 just to give a little spacing between the title and the description, and just write a simple title with an h1 tag. Same thing for the description inside a paragraph, and let's see how it looks. And that's the result. It's nice, clean, and also responsive. After that, I created and import this component here, which I named Dropzone. Basically, it's the box where we can upload our file or drop our files in here, and I'm gonna explain to you guys how I created these components right now. Okay, now let's move to our initial or our main component, which is the React Dropzone. Basically, this component is from this library called React Dropzone. They give you like an input where you can drop or import your files. It's better than use a basic HTML input and then handle your upload files. This is the better way, I guess. After that, I just added some events like on drop, on drag enter, on drag leave, accept, which is the file extensions that you want to accept. I just put them in a variable. So we of course we don't want to accept all type of files like executable files or text files or something like that. We are just converting images, audios and videos. So that's why I created this variable and put it here in this property. Same thing I did for error handling, like on error. If there is an error uploading a file, basically what I did, it just show a message in a toast. A toast is like a small element that will open on your left bottom in your browser. Let me show you how it looks like. So let's search for a toast. That's the toast, guys. It's basically, it will give you some information or an error like that. So basically I just copied this code here and put it and just change the title, the description, and added automatic duration. After 5 seconds it will be hidden. Same thing for on drop projection. So for example, let's say if someone put a file that he isn't allowed to put it, like a txt file. Let's give it a try. So I'm gonna just put this txt file, and you can see I got this error message: allowed files, audio, video and images. Okay, and for the other functions like handle upload and handle exit hover, basically what I did here is just a use state, a boolean use state that changed its state from true to false when it's hovered or not. Why I did that? Just to change a little animation, to give it a little animation. So when it's hovered, we're gonna display click or drop your files, and if it's hovered, we're gonna just change a little bit the look of the component, just for a good user experience. So as you can see, if I hover onto the box, it will change to yes right there. Also the icon will be changed. If I hover, exit the hover, it will go back to its initial state, which is cool. Okay, now let's talk about the handle upload, which is the event that will happen when a file is uploaded in our React Dropzone component. Basically what I did is just create this handle upload function. I'm gonna just show you guys this function, what it is. So basically what I did is just I created another use state called actions. I give it a type of action, and each action is something similar like that. So it will contain the file name, file size, from like mp3 to file type, etc. So those basic variables that we're gonna use in this action type. So guys, after that, what I did is just do a loop for every imported file and put it just into this action stage. So now every time that a file is uploaded into the Dropzone, we should change the UI to let the user know that the file is uploaded and move to the next action, which is choose the file format you want to convert to. So basically that's what I did here. I adjust an if statement. So if the actions that we just explained dot length, which means there is some files in here, there is some actions, then we will change the UI. If not, we will just display the first UI that we just explained. So let's give it a try. If I drop a file, it will change to this UI right here, which is basically just a small box with some text, some selects, some icons that I all got from the Shadcn UI. Now when a file is converted, as you can see, it's we should display its name, and if it's a long name, then we basically just take the first 20 characters. So those type of functions, I put them in a utils directory and just told ChatGPT to generate those functions for me. For example, like compress file name, just you should paste the complete file name and it will return to you a file name compressed. So that's what I did here in my code. As you can see, I passed the compressed file. Same thing for the file icon. So as you can see, we have this image file icon, and if it's an audio, it will show an audio file. Same thing for the video. So what I did, just ask ChatGPT to generate that for me. So file to icon will look something similar to this. It's very simple. What you do is just check the file type. If it contains video, return this icon, else return this. So it's basic stuff in general. Now let's move to the select component. Select components, you can just find it here in Shadcn. It will look something like that. It's very simple to install. Just copy the code and paste it in here. But there is a choice in here that we should that is important, which is those type of conversions, those extensions. So let's say I uploaded a video. Where is the videos? Okay, let's upload this video. As you can see, the allowed file types that I can convert to are just video formats and audio formats. I cannot convert to image formats. Same thing for images. So let's open a video and an image at the same time. As you can see, so to handle this issue, what I did is come here to extensions, create a variable called extensions. So basically it's an object of arrays. I gave it image, video, audio, and that's all the allowed extensions. Of course, I generated those extensions with the help of ChatGPT, so I told him just to generate those for me. Once I do that, what I did after that is go to my select component, which is right here, and what I did is just I check for the file type. So if the file type includes image, then I will show only the image extensions. If it's a video, then I show a tab with the video extensions and audio extensions. Once you have selected the format that you want to convert to, it will then unblock this button, so you can now just click it, click on convert now, and if there is any error, as you can see we are handling it, it shows error converting file, and if it's not, it will just give us the converted file. Now for the conversion part, what I did is just go to the FFmpeg.wasm website, and in the docs you can just go to examples and open the Nextjs example in the GitHub repository. And I found this code. Basically there is two main functions that you should use, but before that we should install this package, those two packages right here, this first one and this second one. So those two main functions are the load and the transcode. So the load function is a function that you should use once the page is opened. So as you can see, I'm using a use effect in here with a load function, and this load function is coming from here. So I created another function in utils, which is load FFmpeg. Basically I just copied this code here from GitHub and pasted it. It's the same code, and The transcode function is where you can convert your file. So you give it basically your file that you want to convert, and you just run your FFmpeg command, and those commands are just generated using ChatGPT. It's very basic commands. For example, let me open my convert function. Here is the command that you want to do is -I. You just put here the input and the output, and just it, guys. Just you run those other commands in here, and it will automatically convert your files, your audios, your videos, and also your pictures. Once a file is converted, basically the function will return a format like this. So it will return a URL, which is type URL, and it will return an output, which is just the name of our file. And to download this converted file in the user machine, I just asked GPT again to give me the solution to that, and it's quite simple. Here is the download function. Just you create an element and assign to it the href attribute, same thing for the download. You click the element, and after that you delete it, and same thing for the download all. So that's it, guys. That's all what we have today. That's the whole project. You can find it in the GitHub repository. Just feel free to clone the code and run it by yourself, and if you find any bugs or problems, then you can just send a pull request. Yeah, guys, so I'm gonna see you in the next video.